Are you guys enjoying the dinner?
Nice.
Absolutely.
Good, isn't it? Like when we get back to this. So, standing in front of you all today, I just want to state for the record that firstly, I'm deeply thankful to the groom for the distinct honor of acting as his foremost witness to the beautiful bond we're all celebrating at this very moment. Kyle has endured a tremendous amount in his life, so of course I'll be delving into a long dictionary of memories. Before moving to those, I want to share a quote which came to mind as I crafted this speech. It was written by the illustrious Carl Sagan in his 1994 book. Within this book, he introspectively comments on a photograph taken by the Voyager 1 spacecraft as it was passing by Saturn in the year 1990. Within the photograph is an unassuming speck, subtending a region only 0.12 pixels across. Consider again that dot. That's home, that's here, that's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joint suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forger, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. And so to me, it is incredible that from this vantage point, all the hustle and bustle on earth appears to be virtually non-existent. And within all this apparent hatred and negativity, two individuals are able to make such an impact on one another's life. I find this to be humbling, and this is a theme for my talk today. So anyway, Kyle and I came to meet after my family moved to Seymour, Indiana. My family and I were originally from Indianapolis and actually moved to Armstrong, Wisconsin, which is a little bit north of here. I was the new kid at Seymour High School. One day as I was sitting in math class, I saw another new student make his way into the classroom. And that student is here today, Matthew Curry. Matt and I sparked up a friendship through sitting at lunch and planning times to play Halo 3 on Xbox Live. Little did I know Matt had deep roots in Seymour. One day after school, while duking it out on Valhalla, I was welcomed with a needler to the dome and the unforgettable "Who is Jail Trove? What a noob." I didn't take too kindly to these fighting words. Matt, of course, responded with nothing short of pure apathy. "Oh, that's Kyle." As time moved forward, I was introduced to Kyle in person. Well, it isn't fair to classify this as a proper introduction. It was more to the effect of Matt and I hanging out in the hallway and Kyle storming through pronouncing, "Who is this kid with the unibrow?" I came to find out in due time that Kyle was a jokester. He thrived off of making a person smile, even in the darkest of situations. Through years of relentless abuse and mental anguish, Kyle's gauge for social appropriateness was a factory defect. In fact, Kyle's inability to judge the inappropriateness of his situation led to his banishment from my parents' home. This is rather humorous given that my lovely mother is attending his wedding today. My mom. You might wonder how this banishment came to be. One day I, mistakenly or not, invited Kyle to hang out at my house. There was a white van with thuggish-looking fellas driving by, and Trigger was written on the side of the van. "You aren't gangster," Kyle yells at the top of his lungs. The van crosses the street, whips around, tires screeching, and begins coming back towards our location, so we ran inside to take cover. My parents were so mad that Kyle was to no longer step foot into our home. This banishment proved to be ineffective given the intimate connection our parents seemed to think existed between us. Really, our story rivaled the drama dealt between the Montagues and Capulets. We would call each other on the phone defiantly each day to spark up hours of banter. You know, the normal stuff littered between intervals of watching Colgate Comedy Hour. Regardless of what our fathers thought, I have a wife, and now so does he, if you haven't noticed. However, our poor wives are probably too confused about our relationship to begin addressing whether or not these claims are accurate. Facebook Messenger may also be a bit incriminating. In fact, a physician has probably not seen his manhood as frequently as I have. I'm lucky that I'm not blind, although I now have permanent eye damage. So to set the tone for this section of the story, I will preface what I'm about to say with the following. Seymour High School was broken up into many buildings. The main cafeteria was part of the main building, and there was a secondary building which contained the commons. Everyone knew the commons had the luxurious dining experience, no preps, no fish sticks, and no frozen pizza. In the commons, we had spicy chicken sandwiches and pretzels with cheese and mustard, right, Kyle? So Kyle became one of my regular dining partners. One day, as we were waiting in line, I heard a blood-curdling scream from behind me. Salt! I turned around, and in a moment which seemed to last forever, I see Kyle's hand motion forward in my direction while gripping a small packet. A clump of white then comes in my direction and lands on my left eye. Of course, it was the salt that he threw at me. I was laid up for a little while after that. So at this point, you may all be wondering why I'm up here serving as his best man. Well, Kyle did make a lot of attempts to assist my acclimation to this new town. For a 2-month duration, Kyle and her friend Josh would approach me and exalt the following with little variation in emotion. The day of days is upon you, Jonathan. Each and every day, for 2 months, they would approach me. The day of days. To my surprise, I go to school on the last day to see Kyle and Josh sporting sharply drawn unibrows. Kyle, being the great friend that he is, relishing the opportunity to highlight my flaws during such a fragile transitional period.
Here we are.
Regardless of his shortcomings and his efforts as a new student, helping me gain my traction, Kyle has always been there for me beyond the scope of high school. One weekend I invited him up to visit me at college, and this may have been the weekend which sparked his interest in alcohol. As we all know, he is quite the expert at this point in his life. Well, one day, he came to visit me at a cooperative house I lived in. Kyle was walking around holding a can of Busch Light, mixing with random samples of alcoholic beverages until he held himself something that was unspeakable. Of course, being Kyle's friend, I just took it and tossed it off the roof. Mixology wasn't your friend, or you're calling my friend. With all the joking aside, Kyle has come a long way since the days of proposing to girls for homecoming with recycled wedding ring boxes and notes. His ability to overcome severe abuse and feelings of abandonment shaped him into the man we see here today. He strives through every ounce of his being to conjure up an infectious smile in a way that I've never seen before. I've always admired Kyle for this very purpose. Many have turned their backs on him, but I've always seen a man capable of vast amounts of love. I always believed in him that he would find his niche. I am proud to say that today he is working in the field of his dreams with a compatible woman by his side for whom he continues to strive for continued betterment. He has always known what he wants in a partner, at least from my perspective. He never experimented with random women, as a lot of men would, because he always sought a non-superficial connection. It doesn't seem that way because he's a goofy fellow. Thus, when I came to the knowledge of him meeting Michaela, I was unsurprised when he ended up moving up there to be closer to her. I was blessed to have the opportunity of witnessing this love grow. Knowing Kyle for nearly 13 years, I can attest to the fact that his quirks can be burdensome. Hopefully at this point we all can. Yet Michaela never hesitates to set time aside in her day to remain by him and offer a voice of reason. Certainly Michaela is a saint for these few reasons, but also her ability to endure his outlandish sense of humor. I may not be blood related to him, but after these many years, I identify as his brother. So confidently, I'm honored to welcome you, Michaela, into the family and look forward to the future you both will have. I also love you, Kyle, and I'm extremely happy to see how far you've come. Having a beautiful wife by your side is a testament to what I've always believed in. You are a great and loving man, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds. So with that, I raise a glass to the new couple in the fashion of Ragnar and Lothbrok. Skål!
Skål!